Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. It's Daryl here. It is 9 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. So, you're married to a Trump supporter. What to do? Yeah, I figured I'd make a video about. I was reading up on this. It's become an issue. I wasn't sure. It's an issue in my life. It's become an issue. It's become part of the reason that I am now single again. I suppose. There's different types of relationships. So there's different ways of handling this. For instance, like my family, my mother, my sister, I don't like getting too personal, but they're all Trump supporters. And family like that, I can overlook. These are people that I love and have ultimate loyalty to my entire life. These are people, too, that stuck by me through 23 years of drug addiction, being addicted to crack and heroin, and being a lying, stealing scumbag. So I figure I owe them a little slack at the very least. But with family like that, and I understand them better, I understand their motivations of fear, and I think I understand them better. Or maybe I just make more excuses, or I'm more forgiving with family of that tight nature. But when it comes to marriage and relationships, it's a whole different story. I was reading up on this, and apparently in 29% of divorces in 2018, political differences played a role. And then in millennials, it said that 22% of millennials have had a relationship breakup because of political differences, whereas 11% of the rest of the population have had a relationship breakup over political differences. So this has played a role. There was also a highly publicized divorce. I think it was a Florida couple called the Ehrenburgs, and the woman, I think her name was Lynn Ehrenburg, was a Trump supporter, and she was there was pictures of her out at social events with various Trump rallies and whatnot, and pictures with Trump, and it became a source of friction and a cause for divorce. It seems like she made out very well in the divorce too. She got the Porsche and a lot of money. Her husband was a prosecutor, apparently down in Florida, but it was a highly publicized breakup down there. It comes to me. I look back at past presidents. Say, let's take Bill Clinton, for instance. And I could understand how that presidency, that situation might cause a little friction in marriage. My point here, what I'm getting at, is it seems in this political climate, within the last 3 years, the division that I believe Trump is very much responsible for, plays a big part in the division in the entire country, even into marriages. Where we just have extreme differences, and it doesn't help with the president's rhetoric about Democrats being evil and lying. You know, he paints half the country as being evil. So I really believe this political climate is far beyond anything that we've had before. I'm 54 years old, and I don't remember any of this ever being so a country so divided, all the way down to relationships and marriages falling apart over this. Here's a thing too that I think it goes way beyond politics. It does, for me at least. It does. For me, the man Trump, the man who mocked that reporter, that was a big point. In there was a time back in 2015 where I briefly considered voting for Donald Trump. I was an independent back then. 2014, 2015. I voted for Obama both times. I loved Obama. But I wasn't sure, and I considered voting for Trump for a while. Briefly. I until I got to listen to him and watch him. And then when that incident with the mocking the reporter, that was a break, a line in the sand for me. If somebody could do that, somebody could make fun of a man with multiple sclerosis, and not just that, but make fun in front of an entire auditorium full of people, and get that entire auditorium to laugh along with him at a person born with birth defects, I'm still to this day, I'm just stunned by, I can't believe that some people are okay with this. Can you imagine going out to a bar and, no, I don't drink anymore or anything, but anyway, go out to a bar or a restaurant and with your buddy or a date, and a person with multiple sclerosis goes by and walks by, and then the person you're with goes and mocks them behind their back. What would you do at that moment? There's a good chance, if that was a guy, there's a good chance I'd punch him. I would pelt him in the face. I'm not even kidding. That's just irrehensible. It's terrible behavior. It's unexcusable. As far as I could see, Trump supporters just, they just shrug their shoulders. Oh, well, we don't like that. We're not crazy about that. But he does good with the economy. You know what? I'm sorry, but there's got to be a line. There's got to be some line that you can't, that it gets to a point where you can't just accept, you can't turn a blind eye to people's behavior, even if it means more money in your pocket. I mean, where do you, to me, that tells me these people their morals are ambiguous, are movable, aren't important to them. To them, a few bucks more in their pocket means more than being a good person. That's what it tells me. Seriously, I mean, I don't come right out and say it even to my family, my mother and my sister, but there's points where I think less of these people. I hate to even say that, but I do. I mean, I just, there's no other way to look at this. The way he speaks about women, grabbing women. The way I was raised, I only knew my father till I was 9, but and the way I was raised, that is just unexcusable behavior for any man. The way he phrased that they'll let you get away with grabbing their privates. You can do that when you're a star, he says, to married women. I mean, seriously, I swear, even if this was a Democrat, if this was Obama, I would be disgusted. I would feel the same way about Obama or this is beyond politics. This is a matter of morals and being a man, and you got to believe in something other than your wallet. So I was in a relationship for 3 or 4 years, and she was an ardent, hardcore Trump supporter. Her whole family Trump supporters. There was one point before the election, these are all good Christian people, and I hear them all laughing that Trump's going to schlong Hillary. What that means, I don't know, but I found it disgusting, man. That older 70, 60, 70, 80-year-old good Christian people were talking about schlonging Hillary. Then the fact too, there's countless things where it goes beyond politics. It's Trump the man. He's just not a good person. He's not. No matter how you cut it. The nicknames. What kind of person does that, really? I can't respect a man that does that. I can't. And now, you know what? This is off the top of my head, but I'll even go on to talk about his gold toilets. Let me talk about gold toilets for 1 second. What kind of man has gold toilets? Why would you have gold toilets? Do they work better? And it's a fact. He does. There's gold toilets in his. There's been pictures in his penthouse in Trump Towers. It's gold. Why? Why would you have gold toilets? Do they work better? Personally, I don't think they look better. I think there's, as far as I'm no interior decorator. I do have a background in architecture and interior design somewhat, and I would never use gold to decorate the inside of any place. To me, it's gaudy, very gaudy. But why would somebody do that? Have a toilet that's worth more than some people's house. Why would you do that? It almost feels like it's an insult to other people, demeaning. That he could move his bowels into a toilet that's worth more than the house you live in. I don't know. And two, now lately there's a lot of talk about school lunches, and Trump cutting out a lot of assistance for school lunches. Um, think about that for a second. How much is a school lunch these days? I was one of those kids that had to get school lunches after I lost my father. How much does school lunch cost? A couple bucks. How much does it cost to feed an entire school for a year? The kids that can't afford it. $5,000 maybe? And instead, you have a man that puts his money into gold crappers. He'd rather have a gold toilet. Honestly, I know it's easy to say, well, if I were that rich, but I couldn't imagine being that wealthy and not want to help out a kid that, that's embarrassed because he can't afford a school lunch, as opposed to have a gold goddamn toilet in my bathroom. It just says a lot about the man. It really does. And then it goes back again. Let's go back to the relationships. To me, that says a lot about the person. That makes it, and whenever you bring any of this up to Trump supporters, they shrug their shoulders. And they go, oh, well, that's Trump. That's Trump. Oh, well, that's good old Trump. They turn a blind eye to it. And to me, that's not good enough. In the future, it's going to be one of my criteria. I will not date a woman who is a Trump supporter. I don't care if she's a model. I don't care if she's a millionaire model. I swear to you, I will not date a woman that's a Trump supporter because I have no respect. I don't. I could still, because I love my family so much, my mother and my sister, and they've stood by me when I was a terrible person. And I could cut them some slack. But in future relationships or relationships with buddies at work or whatever, no. To me, it says a lot about the character of the person. It does. I cannot respect a person, even somebody that would turn a blind eye to these things. I can't respect that. I can't. And the excuse is always, well, he's done great with the economy, which in and of itself is more bullshit, but let's not even get into that. So, yeah, there's more more issues. We could almost say Trump's wrecked a lot of goddamn marriages, But no, it's not him specifically, but the political climate, the climate in general, and it goes beyond politics. It's about morals. It's about norms. It's about a lot of things. It's about American society as a whole. And then too, the kids being in detention down in the southern border. That's another thing that I can't imagine tolerating or making excuses for, that this is okay. Yeah, I'm going to vote for the guy that puts kids in detention and breaks up families. No, man, no. I don't care how good the economy is. I don't care if you give me $5,000 as a tax return. That's unacceptable. When one person loses their freedom, we all lose our freedom, and my freedom is not for sale. I hate to sound like I got all sorts of ideals, but if you don't, what the hell is good as any of this, really? All right, that's my video for today. You guys have a good Tuesday.